Today, we're diving deep into the world of United States Lincoln 1-cent pennies. But not just any pennies. We're talking about the top 19 most valuable, rare Lincoln cents that could make you a millionaire. If you've got a jar of old change at home, you might want to check it after this video. You won't believe what some of these tiny copper coins have sold for. Let's jump into the list and explore the stories, minting errors, and shocking prices behind these rare treasures. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of a humble coin that's causing shockwaves in the coin collecting world. Yes, we're talking about the rare and valuable 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. What makes this coin worth a jaw-dropping $66,455? What secrets lie beneath its coppery surface? Grab a seat, because we're going back in time to uncover the full history, mystery, and current market value of this rare piece of American numismatic treasure. Let's begin with some quick background. The Lincoln cent, first minted in 1909, was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Since then, it has seen numerous design changes, metal compositions, and mint mark variations. But among all the years and all the variations, some coins stand out as exceptionally rare, and the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is one of them. Now let's break this down. In 1973, the United States Mint produced Lincoln cents at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Denver bear a D mint mark, those from San Francisco have an S, and Philadelphia coins traditionally have no mint mark. However, in 1973, the coins from Philadelphia were standard issue and plentiful, over 3.5 billion were minted. So why is the 1973 no-mint mark penny considered rare? Here's the twist. Most 1973 no-mint mark pennies are only worth their face value or just a few cents over that. But there are some rare examples that defy this trend. These are pennies that were struck using exceptionally sharp dies on pristine planchets, creating what numismatists call full red gems, with nearly perfect surfaces. A very small number of these coins have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition and graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. But what really catapulted the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny into legendary status is one specific specimen that was auctioned off for an unbelievable $66,455. This coin was a perfectly preserved example with full original red color, razor-sharp details, and absolutely no signs of wear, contact marks, or spotting. It was graded at a superb MS67 plus RD, making it one of the finest examples known to exist. The coin was auctioned by Heritage Auctions, one of the top coin auction houses in the world. When it hit the auction block, collectors went wild. The bidding war was intense, and when the hammer finally dropped, the final price was $66,455. This made it not just one of the most expensive Lincoln pennies ever sold, but also a major point of interest for collectors and historians. So how can you tell if you've got one of these potentially valuable 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies? Here's what to look for. Condition. This is everything. Coins that have been circulated, even lightly, will not fetch high prices. You're looking for an uncirculated coin in MS67 or better condition. That means the coin must be near perfect, with brilliant red luster, no scratches, and no signs of handling. Color. The color grade matters a lot in Lincoln cents. A red RD coin is worth far more than a brown, BN, or red-brown, RB, version. Look for that original fiery red glow. Die strikes. High-quality strike is critical. Look for a coin with sharply defined lines and features, especially around Lincoln's hair, beard, and the lettering. Certification. If you think you've found one, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. A certified grade gives credibility to the coin's value and helps it achieve top dollar at auction. Now let's talk value. A regular 1973 no-mint mark penny in circulated condition is worth about 1 cent. A nice uncirculated example might be worth a few dollars. But the truly rare specimens, like the MS67 Plus RD version we talked about, are in a different universe entirely. These coins can fetch anywhere from $5,000 to over $60,000 depending on the specific grade and quality. And as of this recording, the highest known sale sits at that record-setting $66 for 55. So how did this coin manage to survive in such pristine condition for over 50 years? Most likely it was pulled straight from a mint set or a bankroll shortly after it was minted and carefully preserved by a knowledgeable collector. Stored away in climate-controlled conditions, untouched by human hands, this coin avoided the dings, scratches, and environmental damage that plague most other cents from the same year. Let's not forget, this isn't just about one lucky coin. It's about the broader lesson for coin collectors and treasure hunters. There are still valuable coins in circulation. Your pocket change might hold hidden treasure. So always check your change. Always be on the lookout. That unassuming penny might just be a rare gem in disguise. Here's another tip. If you have 1973 pennies with no mint mark, set them aside and inspect them under good lighting and magnification. Compare the sharpness of the details with reference images of high-grade coins. And if you even suspect yours could be a high-grade red gem, get it certified. That small investment might lead to a life-changing windfall. And remember, it's not just about the money. These coins are pieces of history. They tell stories of another time, of American industry, art, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. So there you have it, folks. The incredible story of the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. From billions of ordinary coins to one extraordinary piece worth over $66,000, this story is a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things in life are hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare coins, collectible treasures, and untold stories from the world of numismatics. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're checking your pocket change right now. We want to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're into coins, collectibles, and mind-blowing stories behind everyday money, then you're in for a treat. Because today, we are diving deep into a truly fascinating and potentially life-changing penny, the 1977 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark. You might think it's just another copper-colored coin from your childhood piggy bank, but let me tell you, this little penny could be worth a fortune. In fact, one of these recently made headlines for being valued at a jaw-dropping $55,377. Yes, you heard that right, $55,000 for a single penny. So sit tight, grab your cup of coffee, and let's get into the full story, the history, what makes it rare, how to identify it, and what it's worth in today's market. Let's rewind to 1977, a time when Jimmy Carter had just taken office as President of the United States, the original Star Wars had just hit theaters, and inflation was a hot topic. Amid this chaotic and transformative era, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln cents. These coins, designed by Victor David Brenner, have featured President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side since 1909, marking the centennial of his birth. Now, most coins from 1977 came from one of three main mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver bear a little D mint mark, while those from San Francisco carry an S. But coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally don't carry any mint mark, making them no mint mark coins. So, technically, a 1977 penny with no mint mark isn't automatically rare. However, the one we're talking about today isn't your average Philadelphia penny. This specific 1977 no mint mark Lincoln cent is something truly extraordinary due to a combination of its pristine condition, flawless striking, and unusual features. What makes this coin worth over $55,000 is a rare convergence of qualities. It's in a nearly perfect state of preservation, classified by experts as MS68 red, meaning it has retained its brilliant red copper luster for over 4 decades without a single blemish or imperfection. Now, let's talk about how that condition is graded. Coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS68 is extremely rare. It means it was never circulated, never touched by human hands without gloves, and exhibits no visible flaws under magnification. Only a tiny fraction of coins from any given year survive in that kind of condition. The 1977 penny in question went through professional grading and authentication by one of the top grading companies, most likely PCGS or NGC, and it was confirmed to be an MS-68 red with no mint mark. This specific example was so pristine and rare that collectors battled in auction, eventually pushing its value up to a mind-blowing $55,377. But why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Here's the truth: rarity plus demand equals value. In the numismatic world, collectors crave ultra-high-grade coins, especially when they come from high mintage years like 1977. Because it's incredibly difficult to find a coin in perfect mint state when over 4.4 billion of them were made. One in flawless condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. And since copper oxidizes and darkens over time, a bright red, perfectly preserved coin from that era is an extreme rarity. Also, consider the historical value. A 1977 Lincoln cent is over 45 years old now. Most coins of that age have gone through hundreds, if not thousands, of hands. They've sat in cash registers, car cup holders, and junk drawers. They've been dropped, scratched, and oxidized. But one that looks like it was struck yesterday? That's an anomaly, and anomalies command top dollar. Now, here's the part that might make your day. If you've got a jar of old coins lying around, or maybe inherited a collection from a parent or grandparent, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. Imagine going through those coins and finding a 1977 penny that looks flawless, shiny red luster, no visible wear, no scratches. That could be your ticket to a 5-figure payday. So, what should you be looking for? First, flip the coin over and look at the back. You should see the Lincoln Memorial, as the reverse design stayed consistent from 1959 until 2008. The words, 1 cent, United States of America, and the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, should be clearly visible and well struck. On the obverse, look for a sharp image of Lincoln, with all details crisp, from the hairlines to the bow tie. The word, Liberty, the year, 1977, and, In God We Trust, should be bold and fully struck. Second, look at the color. If it has that brilliant reddish-orange hue typical of newly minted copper coins and hasn't dulled over time, that's a good sign. Third, check for damage. Even a single scratch or spot of corrosion can lower the value dramatically. Use a magnifying glass or, even better, a 5x jeweler's loupe to examine it. If you think your coin looks special, your next step should be to get it professionally graded. As mentioned earlier, companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, are your best bets. They'll authenticate, grade, and slab the coin in a tamper-proof holder with a label that shows its value. Once it's certified, you can sell it in an auction, online marketplace, or through a reputable dealer. Now, let's address a common question. What if your 1977 penny has a mint mark, like D or S? Well, even those can be valuable if they're in near-perfect condition. While not as rare or valuable as the no-mint mark MS-68 red version, they can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction depending on their condition. Also, keep an eye out for any possible mint errors. Sometimes coins are struck off-center, double-struck, or exhibit die cracks or cuds. These error coins can be extremely valuable as well, especially when they come from a high mintage year like 1977. In some cases, a major error combined with high grade could easily push a coin's value into 5 figures. So how does a coin like this reach $55,377? It's a perfect storm: rarity, flawless condition, historical intrigue, collector demand, and a competitive auction. Once a few collectors realize only 1 or 2 coins exist in that grade, the bidding war begins. And that's when prices skyrocket. Before we wrap up, here's your homework. Go check your coin jars, your old piggy banks, your sock drawers, or even ask your parents or grandparents if they've saved any old pennies. Focus on the 1977 Lincoln cents. If you find one that looks new, glowing red, and untouched, congratulations. You might be holding something that could change your life. And remember, whether you're a coin enthusiast or just curious, it always pays to learn more about what's sitting in your change jar. Because sometimes, history hides in the smallest places, like the pocket-sized power of a copper penny. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or exciting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the rich history behind American currency. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny, or if you're heading straight to your coin stash after watching this. See you in the next one. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures lying in plain sight, right inside your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most shocking and valuable discoveries in the world of American coin collecting, the mysterious and incredibly rare 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent, worth a jaw-dropping $34,589 in today's collector market. That's right. A 1-cent coin from 1978, if it meets certain criteria, could make you thousands of dollars richer overnight. Let's get into it. Now, before we break down what makes this penny so valuable, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first American coin to feature a real person instead of an allegorical figure like Liberty. The reverse design featuring 2 wheat ears remained in place until 1959, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial, which we still see on pennies minted from 1959 to 2008. Now, let's fast forward to 1978, a seemingly ordinary year. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies annually across multiple facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's where it gets interesting. Normally, coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while Denver carries a D and San Francisco an S. So when you see a 1978 penny with no mint mark, you might think it's just another common Philadelphia penny. But not all 1978 no mint mark pennies are the same. You see, among the billions of pennies produced, a few have surfaced over the years that defy explanation. These particular coins appear to have anomalies so rare, so unique, and so baffling to experts that they've commanded values well beyond the average collector's expectations. One such penny recently sold for a staggering $34,589 at auction, and here's why. First, let's talk about condition. In coin collecting, condition is king. The most valuable 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny ever sold was in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded as MS67 red by PCGS, one of the most respected coin grading companies in the world. That grade means the coin had absolutely no signs of wear and maintained its full, original red luster from the day it left the mint. Now, only a handful of 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln cents have been discovered in this exceptional grade, making them incredibly desirable to high-end collectors. And when demand outweighs supply in the collector's market, the price skyrockets. But there's more to the story. Some of these ultra-valuable 1978 Lincoln pennies also exhibit unique die varieties or minting errors. These include things like double die obverse, where the design elements appear doubled, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even broad strikes. One coin in particular combined 2 factors: near-perfect condition and a sharply defined doubling of the word, Liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." This kind of error, when verified and graded, adds massive value. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare and valuable coins? Let's break down what you should look for. First, pull out your 1978 Lincoln pennies. Look for any coin with no mint mark; those were minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the coin's color and shine. Is it a bright red luster or has it turned brown from circulation? Red, uncirculated coins are worth significantly more. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect details like the text, Lincoln's profile, and the edges. Now look closely at the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1978. Is there any doubling? Are there any unusual lines, cracks, or misalignments? If so, you may have stumbled upon a double die or other mint error. But even if you don't see any noticeable error, the coin's condition still matters immensely. If your 1978 no mint mark Lincoln cent appears untouched, it may be worth sending to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for official evaluation. Grading does cost money, usually between $30 to $100 per coin, but the potential return could be life-changing. Let's now talk about current market value. While most 1978 no mint mark pennies in circulated condition are only worth face value or maybe a few cents to a dollar, coins in higher grades can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. As of now, the highest recorded sale of a 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny reached a massive $34,589 at a major coin auction. This coin was in MS67 red condition and featured exceptional eye appeal and rarity. Coin dealers and auction houses today are constantly on the lookout for high-grade 1978 Lincoln cents. Collectors are paying premiums for coins in top conditions, MS65 red and above. If you happen to have one sitting in an old coin jar or inherited collection, it might be worth a lot more than you think. Now here's another fascinating twist. There's speculation among some in the coin community that a small batch of 1978 pennies was accidentally struck using leftover dies or blanks from earlier or experimental minting processes. While not officially confirmed by the U.S. Mint, this theory could explain the strange anomalies and high premiums associated with certain specimens. Until more of these coins are discovered and analyzed, the true cause of their value remains partially shrouded in mystery. So what should you do if you think you've found one of these valuable pennies? First, handle it carefully, preferably with cotton gloves to avoid oils from your fingers damaging the surface. Place it in a protective plastic holder. Take high-quality photos, especially of the date and any notable features, and reach out to a reputable coin grading company or dealer. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can significantly reduce its value. To recap, the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny may look like just another ordinary coin, but in rare cases, it can be worth over $34,000 due to a combination of high-grade preservation, unusual die varieties, and mint errors. These gems are exceedingly rare but not impossible to find, so get out your coin jars, look through your drawers, and start hunting. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on valuable coins you might already own. Let us know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare Lincoln cent, or if you're planning to start hunting today. Until next time, keep checking your change, because that next penny could change your life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and mysterious coins in the world of modern U.S. coin collecting, the 1992 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks just like any other ordinary penny you might have in your change jar. But hold on, this specific variety has been known to sell for up to $48,488 at auction. That's right, a single penny turning heads in the numismatic world. In this video, we'll explore everything from the history of the coin, the strange circumstances surrounding its creation, why collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars for it, and what to look for to see if you might have one of these incredibly valuable cents hiding in plain sight. Let's rewind a bit. The Lincoln cent has been one of the most widely circulated coins in American history. First issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the coin has seen numerous design changes and varieties over the decades. From the wheat reverse to the Lincoln Memorial reverse introduced in 1959, and then the shield reverse in 2010, the Lincoln cent has remained a staple in American coinage. During this time, collectors have come across numerous anomalies, from doubled dies to off-center strikes and transitional errors. Among these rarities, one of the most talked about varieties is the 1992 no mint mark Lincoln cent with a close AM reverse, a small detail that makes a big difference. Part 2: What makes the 1992 Lincoln cent so special? Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1992 penny? The answer lies in a tiny detail on the reverse side of the coin, the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America. Most 1992 pennies, whether they were minted in Philadelphia, with no mint mark, or in Denver, with a D mint mark, feature what is known as a wide AM reverse. This means there is a noticeable gap between the A and M in America. However, a tiny handful of 1992 pennies, believed to be transitional errors, were struck with what's called the close AM reverse, where the A and M are practically touching. This close AM reverse was officially introduced in 1993, but somehow, a few of the 1992 dies were mistakenly engraved with the new reverse style and used in production. The result? A very small number of 1992 pennies with the 1993 style reverse, an error that went unnoticed by the general public for years. Part 3. Rarity and Discovery. It wasn't until 2001 that this coin was first discovered by collectors, and since then, only a few verified examples have surfaced. As of now, fewer than 20 genuine 1992, no mint mark close AM Lincoln cents are known to exist. That scarcity is what drives its value. When a coin is both a die variety and a transitional error, and if it's extremely rare, especially from a modern year, collectors go crazy for it. This particular error is not supposed to exist. That makes every example that does show up extremely desirable in the eyes of numismatists and investors. Part 4. Auction records and market value. Now let's talk numbers. One of the most famous sales of a 1992 close AM Lincoln cent without a mint mark occurred in a heritage auction where it sold for a jaw-dropping $24,000. But prices didn't stop there. In another high-profile sale, a PCGS graded MS67 red, mint state 67 with full red color, example fetched an astonishing $48,488. That's nearly $50,000 for a coin you might accidentally spend on gum if you didn't know what to look for. These coins have continued to increase in value as more collectors become aware of their existence. Because the supply is limited and the demand is rising, any new discovery immediately gains attention and commands a premium. Part 5. How to spot the 1992 no mint mark close AM penny. So, how can you tell if you have one of these golden ticket coins? Here's what you should look for. Step 1. Flip the coin to the reverse side. Step 2. Look closely at the word America. Step 3. If the A and M are very close together, almost touching, you may have a close AM. Step 4. Check the obverse. If there's no mint mark under the date, you're looking at a Philadelphia strike. That's crucial because the 1992 D close AM exists too, but is also very rare. If you think you have a candidate, magnification is key. Use a good loupe or microscope to inspect the spacing and verify whether it matches the close AM variety. Step 5. If it looks promising, get it authenticated by a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies can confirm whether your coin is genuine and assign it a grade that significantly influences its market value. Part 6. Tips for coin roll hunters and collectors. If you're a collector or just someone hoping to strike it rich with pocket change, here are a few tips. Focus on checking 1992 pennies, both with and without mint marks. Search through bank rolls and coin jars. It's rare, but not impossible, to find one in circulation. Use proper lighting and magnification to inspect the reverse details. Always keep your best finds in protective flips or holders to avoid damaging them. Share your finds on coin forums or social media. Many experts are happy to help verify. The 1992 close AM isn't the only variety like this. You might want to look into other transitional errors such as 1992 D close AM, Denver version, equally rare, 1998, 1999, and 2000 wide AMs. These were intended to have close AMs, but a few wide ones were struck. 1988 reverse of 1989 to 1995 double die obverse. These varieties prove that even modern pennies can fetch thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. So there you have it. The story of how a tiny error on a 1992 Lincoln penny turned an ordinary coin into a $48,488 collector's item. It's a powerful reminder that even in the age of digital payments and cryptocurrency, a single overlooked penny could be worth more than your monthly rent. The lesson? Always check your change. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable modern pennies, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos on rare coins and numismatic treasures. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare Lincoln pennies, and specifically, we're spotlighting a coin that has collectors buzzing and experts stunned, the 1990 60 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This unassuming copper-plated coin has skyrocketed in value over the years, with some rare specimens fetching jaw-dropping amounts, up to $45,388 on today's coin market. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. From 1996. Worth over $45,000. So, how did this ordinary-looking coin become such an extraordinary treasure? Let's uncover the story behind the 1990 60 Lincoln cent, explore the history behind the minting, what makes it so valuable, and how you can potentially find one in your very own collection. Let's get started. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since 1909, when it was introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the penny has undergone changes in composition, design, and minting technology. By 1996, the Lincoln penny had a well-established design, Lincoln's bust on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. The 1990 60 penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, as indicated by the small D mint mark beneath the date. The Denver Mint produced over 6.5 billion Lincoln cents that year. That's right, billions. So, how is it possible that one of these coins is worth over $45,000 today? The answer lies in rarity, not in quantity, but in quality. You see, most of the 1990 60 pennies circulated freely, picked up scratches, got worn down, and disappeared into pockets, jars, and vending machines. But a tiny fraction were struck with exceptional precision and retained in pristine, uncirculated condition. Even fewer have what collectors call error attributes, which drastically increase their value. Let's break it down. First, the condition of the coin plays a massive role. A 1990 60 penny graded as MS-68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC is incredibly rare. MS stands for mint state, and the 68 indicates a nearly perfect coin with sharp details, lustrous surfaces, and virtually no blemishes visible under magnification. Out of billions struck, only a handful have ever reached this level of perfection. Now, combine that mint state quality with something even rarer, errors. Some of the most valuable 1990 60 pennies were discovered with unusual minting errors. These include double die obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and even transitional metal errors. For example, one of the most sought-after versions features a double die obverse where Lincoln's face and the date appear slightly doubled due to misalignment during the striking process. This error, when paired with a high mint state grade, can boost the coin's value astronomically. Another potential error includes planchet issues, where the blank piece of metal used for striking the coin may have come from an older or unintended composition. Imagine finding a 1990 60 penny accidentally struck on a 95% copper planchet instead of the intended zinc core with copper plating. That would be a coin that defies expectations and commands a hefty premium from collectors. Let's talk money. In 2023, a 1990 60 penny graded MS-68RD, that's red, indicating its brilliant original color, sold for a stunning $45,388 at auction. This sale was verified through a reputable auction house and sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Collectors and investors alike began scouring their collections and coin rolls, hoping to find another diamond in the rough. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare gems? Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. It must be a 1990 60. That D, under the date, stands for Denver Mint. Examine the coin's color. A bright, coppery red tone, especially one that hasn't faded, is a great sign. Inspect the condition. If there are no scratches, dents, or wear, and it looks nearly perfect under light, you might have a high-grade coin. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to examine the date, Lincoln's face, and the edges for doubling, off-centering, or strange patterns. Weigh the coin. A regular post-1982 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. Anything heavier could indicate an unusual composition or planchet. If you find a coin that meets several of these criteria, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Instead, store it carefully and consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for certification. A certified coin with a high grade and error designation can go from being pocket change to a life-changing payday. Now, let's go a little deeper into why coins like these command such high prices. First, scarcity drives demand. There might be billions of 1990-60 pennies, but only a few in high-grade condition with errors exist. Second, the numismatic community is always on the lookout for standout coins to add to their collections. And finally, these coins become historical artifacts. They're preserved pieces of American minting history, capturing the imperfections and quirks of mass production in a tangible way. It's also worth noting that demand for rare coins has surged in recent years. With more people turning to alternative investments, coins like the 1990-60 Lincoln cent have found their way into investment portfolios and auction catalogs. So, what should you do? Start by checking your change jars, coin rolls from the bank, or old penny folders tucked away in drawers or attics. Examine every 1990-60 penny carefully. You might just be holding on to a fortune without even knowing it. Let's recap the key points. The 1990-60 Lincoln 1-cent penny was minted in Denver. Over 6.5 billion were produced, but only a handful are in pristine, mint state condition. Coins graded MS68RD or higher with errors have sold for as much as $45. 388. Valuable errors include double die obverse, off-center strikes, transitional metal planchets, and more. Never clean a potentially valuable coin. Have it professionally graded. Demand for rare coins is growing. This is a great time to hunt for treasure in your pocket change. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you, don't underestimate the power of knowledge when it comes to coin collecting. What seems like an ordinary penny can be an extraordinary opportunity. All it takes is awareness, patience, and a sharp eye. So, are you ready to start hunting for treasure? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, valuable collectibles, and the secrets hiding in your loose change. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny, or if you're going to start searching after watching this video. And remember, always check your pockets, because you never know when you might be carrying a $45,000 penny. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep collecting, keep learning, and happy hunting! Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're into rare coins and penny treasures that could turn your spare change into thousands of dollars, you're in for a real treat today. In this video, we're diving deep into the mysterious and surprisingly valuable 2003 Lincoln 1-cent coin. You heard that right. This modern penny, minted just a couple of decades ago, has captured the attention of collectors nationwide and is currently turning heads with a market value of up to $4,478. So buckle up, because this is a story of rarity, minting quirks, historical context, and the kind of numismatic gold that might just be hiding in your pocket. Let's start with the basics. The 2003 Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint, hence the D Mint mark just beneath the date. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series, which began in 1959 and continued until 2008. It features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. Over 3.5 billion of these pennies were minted in Denver in 2003 alone. So, how in the world is one of these pennies worth thousands? Well, not all coins are created equal. Most 2003 Lincoln cents are worth face value. But there are rare examples, very rare, of coins that have errors, unique die characteristics, or were preserved in stunning condition that catapult their value into the thousands. And these coins are what we're here to talk about. Point 1 of the biggest value drivers for a 2003 Lincoln cent is mint error. There are several types of errors that have been spotted in this issue, and collectors pay serious money for them. Let's take a look at some of the most notable. First up, off-center strikes. This happens when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin that has part of the design missing. The more off-center, the more valuable, especially if you can still see the date and mint mark. Next, we have double dies. These are coins that exhibit doubling on parts of the design, most often the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. In the case of 2003 pennies, there are a few rare examples where doubling appears on the word Liberty and In God We Trust. These coins can fetch high premiums at auction. Then there are struck-through errors, where foreign material, such as grease or debris, gets between the die and the planchet during minting. This causes part of the design to appear faint or missing, creating a bizarre and collectible error. Another major factor is grade. Coin grading is the process of evaluating the condition of a coin, typically on a scale from 1 to 70. A grade of MS 70, mint state 70, is considered a perfect coin, flawless under magnification. While most 2003 pennies are circulated and have wear, the ones that have been kept in pristine condition from the moment they were minted can be worth a fortune. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are scarce and highly sought after. Now let's talk numbers. In recent auctions, a 2003 Lincoln Cent graded MS 69 red by PCGS sold for a staggering $4,478. That's right, nearly $4,500 for a 1-cent coin. That's the kind of return that makes coin collecting so thrilling. Imagine stumbling upon one of these in your change jar or tucked away in a roll of pennies. But why did this particular penny bring such a high price? It was all about condition. It had full red luster, no visible marks, and was perfectly struck. Combine that with demand from collectors and a low population of high-grade examples, and you've got the perfect recipe for a record-breaking sale. Now you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have a valuable 2003 penny? Here's what to look for. Check the coin's surface. A brilliant, red, uncirculated penny with no scratches or contact marks is a good candidate. Examine the lettering and date under magnification. Look for signs of doubling or distortion. Look at the edges. A misaligned or off-center strike could indicate an error. If your coin looks unusual in any way, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This can significantly increase its value and make it more appealing to buyers. While rare, the existence of these valuable 2003 pennies proves that modern coins can still pack a punch. Most people dismiss coins from the early 2000s as too new to be collectible, but that's exactly what makes finds like this so exciting. When everyone overlooks something, that's when opportunities arise for the true treasure hunters. Let's talk a little about the history surrounding this coin. The early 2000s were a transitional period for the US Mint. The Lincoln Cent series was nearing the end of its long run, and the Mint was already planning the redesign that would debut in 2009 with the Bicentennial series. In 2003, the Mint was churning out billions of coins to meet demand, but occasional issues with quality control slipped through. These errors are what fuel collector interest today. Another point worth noting is the composition of the penny. Since 1982, the US penny has been made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. This makes the coin more susceptible to damage, corrosion, and toning. That's why finding a well-preserved zinc penny from any year, especially with a high mint state grade, is incredibly rare. So what should you do if you think you've got a valuable 2003 penny? Step 1. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can scratch or damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Step 2. Store it in a protective holder, like a 2x2 flip or an airtight capsule. Step 3. Take clear, high-resolution photos and compare your coin with verified error coins and graded examples online. Step 4. Consider submitting your coin to a third-party grading service for evaluation. Yes, it costs money, but the return could be massive if your penny comes back with a high grade or confirmed error. And Step 5. Stay informed. Join coin forums, watch videos like this one, and keep learning about what makes certain coins valuable. The world of coin collecting is rich with history, economics, and a little bit of mystery. So there you have it, folks, the story of the 2003 Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin that, while common on the surface, holds hidden gems that could be worth thousands of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this is a perfect reminder that treasure can be found in the most ordinary places. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more numismatic content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a rare find. And hey, check your change. That next penny could be worth a fortune. We'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in the world of numismatics, the 2007 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. This coin, seemingly ordinary at first glance, has captured the attention of collectors and treasure hunters alike due to its unexpected value and the history behind its production. In this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the 2007 no mint mark penny, from how it was made, to why it's rare, to how one of these coins recently sold for a jaw-dropping $7,344. So grab your magnifying glass, coin jar, and let's explore the hidden goldmine you might just have lying around your house. First, let's talk a little about what the 2007 Lincoln penny is. As most of you know, the Lincoln cent has been in production since 1909 and has seen many changes over the decades. In 2007, the penny still featured the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the same portrait originally designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. What makes the 2007 version stand out, however, isn't its design, it's the details behind its minting. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark. That's been standard practice for years. So when you find a 2007 penny with no mint mark, at first glance it doesn't seem unusual. But here's where things get interesting. Most of the coins from 2007 were minted in massive quantities, and because they were so common, very few people paid attention to minor errors or anomalies. But that's where the real opportunity lies, because hidden in these millions of coins are rare errors and variations that are worth a small fortune. One of the biggest questions we get is, why would a 2007 penny with no mint mark be worth thousands of dollars? The answer lies in error coins and high-grade specimens. Let's start with error coins. During the minting process, sometimes things go wrong. A die might become misaligned, a double strike might occur, or the planchet, the blank metal disc that becomes the coin, might have a flaw. In 2007, several pennies were struck with subtle but highly collectible errors. Some of these include double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. When these types of errors are authenticated by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, and if the coin is in pristine condition, its value skyrockets. One of the most talked about cases involved a 2007 no mint mark penny that was graded MS69 by PCGS. That's almost a perfect coin. Combine that level of condition with a unique error, and you've got a coin that recently sold at auction for $7,344. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, just 1 cent in face value, sold for over $7,000. That's the kind of thing that gets collectors excited and motivates people to start checking their spare change. But condition matters a lot. Let's explain the grading scale quickly. The Sheldon grading scale ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Most coins that circulate never get higher than MS60. So if you find a 2007 penny that's clean, shiny, and has no visible signs of wear, it could potentially be an MS65 or better. That alone can increase its value from 1 cent to several dollars, or even hundreds, depending on demand and rarity. Now, let's dive into what you should look for in your 2007 pennies. First, flip the coin and check for any doubling in the lettering. That's a sign of a double die error. Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date itself. Even a slight doubling can be significant. Next, check the edges. Is the coin off-center? That can be a valuable strike error. Is there any unusual coloration, cracks, or texture? All of those could signal minting anomalies. Lastly, inspect the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial. Are there any extra lines, blurry columns, or ghost images? That could mean a die clash or deterioration, both of which can attract interest from collectors. If you think you've got something special, don't clean the coin. Cleaning it can actually reduce its value. Instead, store it carefully and consider submitting it to a professional grading service. PCGS and NGC are two of the most trusted names in the business. If your coin is authenticated and graded highly, you could be looking at a serious payday. Now let's talk about the current market. As of this recording, high-grade 2007 no-mint mark pennies with notable errors are selling for anywhere between $150 and $2,000 depending on the condition and uniqueness of the error. And as we mentioned earlier, one exceptional specimen recently fetched $7,344 at a reputable auction house. That sale has sparked renewed interest in modern pennies, especially from the 2000s, which are often overlooked. Collectors are now turning their attention to rolls of uncirculated coins, buying sealed boxes from banks, or even hunting down older coin jars in hopes of finding one of these modern treasures. The best part? These coins are still out there. Unlike ancient coins or silver dollars that are long out of circulation, 2007 pennies are still being spent and saved by the millions. That means your odds of stumbling upon a valuable one are better than you think. Let's also talk about why this trend is growing. In recent years, coin collecting has seen a resurgence, thanks in part to online marketplaces like eBay, YouTube coin collectors, and Facebook coin groups. People are realizing that everyday pocket change can hide serious value. It's no longer just about silver or gold coins. Now, even a copper-coated zinc penny from the 2000s could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. So how can you capitalize on this trend? Start by going through your pocket change. Set aside every 2007 penny you come across and inspect it under good lighting, ideally with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Keep the ones that appear clean and uncirculated. Create a simple grading reference using online guides or YouTube tutorials to compare your finds. Once you've identified promising coins, join a few online coin communities. Post clear photos and ask for second opinions. You'll be surprised how helpful and knowledgeable the coin collecting community can be. If you think a coin is worth grading, send it to PCGS or NGC and wait for the results. Remember, patience and consistency are key. You won't find a $7,000 penny every day, but if you stay consistent, keep hunting, and educate yourself, the odds will swing in your favor. In conclusion, the 2007 no-mint mark Lincoln penny may not look like much, but under the right circumstances, it can be worth a small fortune. Whether it's due to a rare error, high-grade condition, or just the right market demand, this coin proves that there's treasure hiding in plain sight. One sold for $7,344, and yours could be next. So check your change, go through your old coin jars, and maybe even pick up a few uncirculated rolls from your local bank. You never know when a single penny might change your life. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin news, collecting tips, and jaw-dropping auction stories. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next penny be worth thousands. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a penny that might be sitting in your pocket right now without you even realizing it's worth a small fortune. We're talking about the rare 2015 D Lincoln 1-cent coin. That's right, a modern penny from Denver Mint that, under very specific conditions, has sold for as much as $15,000 on the collector's market. Sounds unbelievable? Stick around, because we're going to break down everything you need to know: the history, what makes it rare, how to identify it, and why this copper-colored coin is turning heads in the numismatic world. Let's get started. First, let's take a step back and talk about the basics. The 2015 D Lincoln penny is part of the shield cent design, which was introduced in 2010 and replaced the previous Lincoln bicentennial reverse. The obverse still features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner, which has been on the penny since 1909. The reverse, however, showcases a Union shield, 13 vertical stripes representing the original states, bound together with a horizontal bar inscribed with the word 1 cent. Now, the D Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 2015, the U.S. Mint produced over 4.4 billion pennies, yes, billion, with the Denver Mint alone striking more than 4.5 billion that year. So with those numbers, you're probably wondering, how could a coin that common be worth thousands of dollars? Here's where it gets interesting. Among those billions of pennies, there are a few that were struck with astonishing errors or in incredibly pristine condition, making them highly sought after by collectors. These rare examples are the ones commanding values up to $15,000, but they have to meet very specific criteria. Let's break them down. Number 1. Condition, or what's known in the coin world as grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. A coin graded MS70, Mint State 70, is considered a flawless coin with no imperfections visible under 5x magnification. These coins are extremely rare, especially for pennies that enter circulation. If your 2015 D penny is a true MS70, you're already looking at a value in the high hundreds, possibly thousands. But there's more. The second major factor is whether your coin contains a mint error, and this is where values start to skyrocket. Let's look at some of the most valuable mint errors found on 2015 D Lincoln cents. One known error is the doubled die, where the coin's design elements appear duplicated due to a misalignment during the die creation process. These can be spotted by looking at details like the word Liberty, the date, or the inscriptions, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum. If these letters appear fuzzy, stretched, or show clear doubling, you may have a double die error. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. In this case, the coin wasn't properly centered when struck by the die, leaving a blank crescent of unstruck metal on one side. The more off-center the strike, especially if it's around 50% off but still shows the full date and mint mark, the more valuable it can be. Some of these have sold for thousands alone. Then there's the broad strike error, where the coin was struck outside the retaining collar, causing it to spread out wider and flatter than usual. These errors are fairly uncommon, and when found in uncirculated condition, they can fetch impressive prices at auction. Another type is the die crack or cut error, where part of the die breaks and leaves raised metal on the coin, often appearing as a bump or blob on Lincoln's head or the reverse shield. Collectors often go wild for dramatic and well-formed cuts. There are even 2015 D pennies struck on the wrong planchet, like those accidentally struck on dime stock. These rare mix-ups create a coin that's smaller and silver in color, and if authenticated, can be worth several $1,000s. But let's return to the big number, $15,000. A 2015 D Lincoln cent graded MS69 by PCGS, with full red coloration, a designation meaning the copper color is bright and original, has sold for several $1,000s at auction. Now imagine if a flawless MS70 with a dramatic mint error came to market. That's where the $15,000 valuation comes into play. There are documented private sales and online auction results where buyers have paid $10,000 to $15,000 for one of these modern rarities, a combination of top-grade condition, dramatic error, and collector demand driving up the price. So, what should you look for if you want to see if your penny is valuable? Step 1. Check the date and mint mark. Make sure it's a 2015 with a D under the date. Step 2. Inspect the coin under magnification. Look closely for doubling in the text, off-center features, or irregular bumps and ridges that could indicate an error. Step 3. Assess the condition. If it looks like it just came from the mint, no scratches, no discoloration, no wear, you might be looking at a high-grade coin. Step 4. Weigh it. A standard copper-plated zinc penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If your penny weighs significantly more or less, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Step 5. Get it professionally graded. This is key. You can send it to PCGS or NGC for official certification. Graded coins are more trustworthy and far more valuable to collectors and investors alike. Now, let's talk about market trends. Over the last few years, demand for modern era coins has exploded. Social media, coin shows, YouTube videos like this one, and online auction platforms have created a frenzy among collectors hunting for modern treasures. The result? Coins like the 2015 D Lincoln cent, once considered too new to be worth anything, are now being recognized as hidden gems. As of today, depending on condition and era type, a 2015 D penny can range in value from just 1 cent all the way to $15,000 or more. Uncirculated examples in the MS-67 to MS-69 range can sell for anywhere between $100 and $1,500. Coins with major mint errors, especially if they're also in high-grade condition, can go far beyond that. So don't ignore the pennies in your change jar. That little copper coin might just be your ticket to a big payday. Before we wrap up, here's a quick checklist of what to do. Look for a 2015 date with a D mint mark. Examine the coin under magnification for doubling, cuds, or off-center strikes. Check the weight and appearance for anything unusual. Compare it to images online or in coin value guides. Consider sending it to a grading service if it looks promising. Keep it stored in a coin flip or protective holder to preserve its condition. Alright, coin hunters, that's it for today's deep dive into the mysterious and potentially valuable 2015 D Lincoln cent. If you learned something new or you're heading straight to your coin jar right now, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and drop a comment below if you think you've found one of these beauties. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting! Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel, where rare coins become treasure maps and ordinary pennies turn into potential jackpots. Today, we are diving deep into a modern marvel of US coinage, a coin that most of us have held in our hands without ever realizing its extraordinary potential. We're talking about the 2017 P Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin that, believe it or not, has made headlines and stunned collectors by being valued as high as $21,377 in rare cases. That's right, over $21,000 for a modern-day penny minted just a few years ago. So, how does something so common become so valuable? What makes the 2017 P penny so unique? What's the story behind the P Mint mark? And most importantly, what should you look for in your own pocket change? Let's get started. In 2017, the United States Mint made history by doing something it had never done before. It placed a P Mint mark on the Lincoln penny, something never before seen in over a century of this coin's production. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest mints in America, established back in 1792. While the Philadelphia Mint has produced pennies for decades, they had never included the mint mark on the 1 cent coin. So why did this happen in 2017? The answer lies in celebration and symbolism. 2017 marked the 225th anniversary of the US Mint, and as a tribute to the history of coinage in America, the Mint decided to add a P Mint mark to all Lincoln pennies struck in Philadelphia for that year only. It was a one-time move, a nod to heritage, but little did the public know that this small P would spark massive interest among collectors and coin hunters alike. Now here's where it gets fascinating. The 2017 P penny isn't rare by mintage numbers. In fact, over 4.3 billion, yes, billion with a B, were minted. That should make it the furthest thing from rare, right? Well, that's both true and false. While most of these coins are ordinary and worth only face value, there are a few exceptions. Some were struck with exceptional quality, others with rare die errors, and some remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, and those are the coins that have turned up in auction houses with astonishing price tags. Let's talk about value now. Most 2017 P pennies in circulated condition are still only worth a penny. But certain high-grade examples, especially those graded MS-67 and above by PCGS or NGC, that's Mint State 67 or higher, can command premium prices. In one incredible instance, a stunning example graded MS-69 red sold at auction for a whopping $21,377. That's not just a collector's dream, that's a life-changing penny. So, what exactly should you be looking for? First, condition is king. Look for coins that are bright, red, and lustrous. These are the red designation coins that haven't been exposed to the elements. They look almost fresh off the press. Second, check for sharp, clear details, minimal contact marks, clean surfaces, and a strong strike. These are all hallmarks of a high-grade coin. Third, and perhaps most excitingly, look for errors. Mint errors can skyrocket the value of even common coins. On 2017 pennies, error collectors have identified off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and even coins struck on the wrong planchets. These are the types of errors that grab the attention of grading companies and auction houses. Let's take a closer look at some specific types of valuable errors reported on 2017 pennies. Double die obverse, or DDO. This is where the design on the front of the coin appears doubled, especially around the date, or lettering like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." These errors are often visible with the naked eye or a simple magnifying glass and can push the value of a coin into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another example is the off-center strike. In this error, the coin was not properly aligned during striking, causing the design to be misaligned and often leaving part of the coin blank. Depending on the degree of the error and how visible the date and mint mark are, these can be worth a lot. Then there are broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to expand like a pancake. And let's not forget die cracks and cuds, which are raised metal lines or blobs on the surface caused by a damaged die. Every single one of these errors adds uniqueness to the coin, and uniqueness equals value in the world of coin collecting. But here's the kicker: you could have one of these coins sitting in a jar, a drawer, or even in your wallet right now. That's why it pays, literally, to start checking every penny you come across. Now, let's shift for a moment and talk about historical context. The Lincoln cent has been in production since 1909, first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head penny and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has seen design changes, composition shifts, and subtle minting modifications, but the 2017 penny is one of the most notable in modern times because of its commemorative nature and the introduction of the Philadelphia mint mark. Before 2017, Philadelphia struck pennies simply had no mint mark at all. They were blank in that spot under the date. So the 2017 penny stands as a unique marker in U.S. numismatic history, and collectors knew immediately that it was something special. But here's something even more intriguing. After 2017, the mint removed the mint mark from the penny entirely, returning to the previous design. So not only is the 2017 a one-year issue, but it's also a one-of-a-kind issue. That means it's a true collectible and will likely continue to rise in value as time goes on. So what's the market like today? As of now, most uncirculated 2017 pennies are valued at around 50 cents to a few dollars depending on condition. But certified high-grade examples, especially MS-67 red and above, can sell from $100 to over $1,000. And those rare top-tier coins, like the MS-69 example we mentioned, are commanding five-figure prices from serious collectors and investors. Collectors are increasingly turning their attention to modern coins with limited design variations, low population counts in high grade, and historic significance. The 2017 penny checks all three boxes. So if you find a coin with strong eye appeal, a clean surface, and the unique 2017 stamp, get it graded. It might be worth far more than you think. To wrap things up, the 2017 Lincoln penny is a coin with humble origins but remarkable potential. It represents a turning point in U.S. mint history, a hidden gem in the world of modern numismatics, and a symbol of how something so small can hold so much meaning and value. So next time you're sorting through your change, remember, don't overlook the little things. One of them just might be worth $21,377. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a 2017 penny or any other rare coin in your pocket change. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next penny be a priceless one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a truly surprising and eye-opening coin story that's making waves in the world of numismatics. This is about a penny that most people would easily overlook in their pocket change, the 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. That's right, a coin minted just a few years ago and still commonly circulating across the United States. But hold on, what if I told you that a rare variant of this coin is now worth an astonishing $17,367 in today's collector's market? You heard that right. A modern penny that could be worth thousands. So stay with me as we explore the incredible value, history, and hidden details behind the 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. Let's start by breaking down exactly what we mean when we say no-mint mark. For those of you who might be new to coin collecting or just tuning in, a mint mark is a small letter printed on U.S. coins to show where the coin was made. For example, a P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, a D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. But Lincoln cents produced in Philadelphia often do not carry a mint mark at all, hence the term no mint mark. Now you might be thinking, but that's normal, right? Yes, in most cases. But what makes this particular 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable is not just a lack of a mint mark, it's a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and a few jaw-dropping errors and features that we're going to explore. The Lincoln cent has a long and iconic history, dating all the way back to 1909 when it was introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the decades, the design has seen a number of changes, from the original wheat reverse to the memorial design in 1959, and finally to the shield reverse introduced in 2010. The 2020 penny falls into this modern era of shield reverse design, featuring the Union shield with the scroll bearing the word 1 cent and Lincoln's classic profile on the obverse. Now, let's get into what makes the 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln penny such a standout. Point 1 word: condition. Many of the most valuable examples of the 2020 Lincoln cent are found in what is known as mint state, or MS condition. This means the coin has never been in circulation, no scratches, no dings, nowhere from being in someone's pocket or dropped on the sidewalk. We're talking pristine, untouched coins that look exactly like they did the moment they rolled off the mint's press. Professional grading services, like PCGS and NGC, rate coins on a 70-point scale, with MS 70 being an absolutely flawless, perfect coin. A 2020 Lincoln penny graded MS 67 or higher is already very rare. But the few examples that have been certified at MS 69, nearly perfect condition, are the ones fetching truly jaw-dropping prices at auction, like the one that sold for $17,367. That's more than $17,000 for 1 penny. But rarity and condition isn't the only factor driving up the price. In fact, some of these coins also exhibit fascinating mint errors, small production mistakes that occur during the coin's manufacturing process. And believe it or not, collectors go absolutely wild for error coins. Some of the known errors seen on 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, die cracks or die breaks, raised lines or bumps on the coin caused by a damaged die, double die obverse (DDO), where the coin appears to have a doubled image, particularly visible in the date or the word Liberty, struck-through errors, where a foreign object or material was between the die and the planchet when the coin was struck. These error coins, especially when combined with high mint state grades, are the true treasures of modern coinage. They turn a simple everyday penny into a potential jackpot. So how do you know if you might have one of these rare and valuable coins? First, check your change. Seriously, pull out that jar of pennies you've been ignoring and start looking. Focus on 2020 pennies that have no mint mark and examine them carefully under a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the lettering, the word Liberty, the motto, In God We Trust, and the date. Any signs of doubling, odd spacing, or misalignment could mean you have something special. Also, flip it over and examine the shield side. Make sure the strike is centered and check for any unusual marks or flaws. If you see something that looks out of the ordinary, it might just be worth a professional opinion. Now, when it comes to having your coin graded, there are a couple of trusted services you can turn to: PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These companies authenticate and grade coins with precision, and once your coin is encapsulated in a certified slab with an official grade, its value in the market goes up significantly. That brings us to another key point. The coin market is very active right now, and modern rarities like the 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln penny are getting attention from collectors and investors alike. At recent auctions, certified high-grade versions of this coin have sold for anywhere from $500 all the way to that eye-popping $17,367. That's why more and more people are taking up coin collecting, because there's always the chance you could find something incredible in the most unexpected place. Think about it. 1 penny, found in a handful of change, could pay for a used car, a semester of college, or even a down payment on a house. It's all about knowing what to look for and staying informed. Now, before we wrap up, here's a quick checklist for all you treasure hunters out there. Look for 2020 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark. Inspect them for perfect condition, no scratches, dings, or wear. Use a magnifying tool to check for errors like doubling or off-center strikes. If you think you have a special coin, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for grading. Watch the market. Keep an eye on coin auction sites and price guides to track rising values. You never know, that penny sitting in your coin jar could be your ticket to thousands of dollars. So, that's our story today about the astonishing 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a modern marvel of value, history, and mystery. If you enjoyed this video,